Imagine being a rising star in WWE, turning a corner backstage, and coming face to face with the Beast incarnate and the most dangerous advocate in sports entertainment. That's exactly what happened to Austin Theory when Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman cornered him in one of the most intimidating backstage encounters in recent WWE history. What happens when nearly 300 pounds of pure destruction and the greatest talker in wrestling history trap you with nowhere to run? We're about to find out. I'm your host here at Suplex Rumble, and today we're breaking down every psychological warfare tactic, every power move, and every terrifying second of this encounter. If you're ready for this deep dive, smash that subscribe button and let's go. Before we dive into the confrontation itself, let's understand who these three individuals are and why this moment matters so much. Let's be real, Brock Lesnar is a different breed of superstar. Former UFC heavyweight champion, multiple-time WWE champion, NCAA Division I heavyweight wrestling champion. This is a man who's conquered every combat sport he's touched. When Lesnar walks into a room, the atmosphere changes. The air gets heavier. People move differently. There's a primal, legitimate aura around him that you just can't fake. He's not playing a character when he's intimidating, he genuinely is intimidating. What makes Lesnar so dangerous in these situations is his unpredictability. He can go from 0 to 100 in a heartbeat. That calm, almost bored expression can transform into explosive violence faster than you can blink. And everyone in WWE knows it. If Brock Lesnar is the hammer, Paul Heyman is the one who decides where the hammer falls. As Lesnar's longtime advocate and special counsel, Heyman's role is crucial. He's the brain to Lesnar's brawn, the strategist behind the chaos. But here's what makes Heyman brilliant: he's not just a mouthpiece. He's a master manipulator, a psychological warfare expert, and someone who can turn a simple backstage conversation into a career-defining moment or a career-ending nightmare. Heyman has decades of experience reading people, finding their weaknesses, and exploiting them. When he talks, you can hear the intelligence, the calculation, the sheer dangerous cleverness that's made him a legend in this industry. Now let's talk about Austin Theory. This is a young superstar who's been rapidly climbing the WWE ladder. He's athletic, he's confident, and he's shown flashes of brilliance that suggest a very bright future. Theory represents the new generation, social media savvy, athletic, and unafraid to show his ambition. He's had high-profile matches, championship opportunities, and the kind of trajectory that veterans notice. But here's the thing about rising stars: they haven't been tested in every way yet. They haven't had that moment that truly shows what they're made of. And sometimes, that test comes when you least expect it, in a backstage hallway, with nowhere to hide. This isn't just three superstars crossing paths. This is about hierarchy, respect, and power dynamics in WWE. It's about an established force reminding the new generation who runs the show. It's about Austin Theory learning a lesson that can only be taught by legends. Now let's get into the meat of this encounter: what actually happened when these three collided backstage. Picture the scene: Austin Theory is backstage, probably coming from a segment or heading to a production meeting. Maybe he's on his phone, posting to social media his signature move. He's in his own world, confident, maybe even a little cocky. And then he turns the corner. Standing there, blocking his path, are Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Not by accident. This was intentional. This was planned. Theory's face says it all. This is not what he expected to deal with today. The first rule of backstage encounters: when Brock Lesnar is standing in your way, you don't have many good options. According to reports from those who witnessed this encounter, Paul Heyman was the first to speak. Of course that's his role. He's the one who sets the tone, who articulates what the Beast is thinking. Heyman's opening line likely cut right to the chase. No pleasantries. No small talk. Just direct, pointed questions or statements designed to put Theory on the defensive immediately. Imagine Heyman's voice, that distinct cadence, that dangerous calmness as he addresses Theory. Maybe it's about something Theory said in an interview. Maybe it's about disrespect, real or perceived. Maybe it's simply about reminding Theory of where he stands in the pecking order. The psychological warfare starts immediately. Heyman's not yelling. He doesn't need to. His words are surgical strikes, each one calculated to make Theory uncomfortable. While Heyman is doing the talking, Brock Lesnar is doing something arguably more terrifying. He's just there. Standing. Staring. Existing in that space with that overwhelming physical presence. Lesnar doesn't need to touch Theory to intimidate him. The mere possibility of what could happen is enough. Every muscle, every vein, every ounce of that freakish physicality is on full display. Theory can see exactly what he'd be dealing with if this situation goes sideways. And here's what makes it worse: Lesnar might smile. That unsettling, almost playful smile that says he's enjoying this. Like a predator playing with its food before the kill. It's not mean-spirited, it's just beast mode. Reports suggest that at some point, Lesnar moves closer. Maybe he adjusts Theory's collar. Maybe he pats him on the shoulder hard enough to make a point. Maybe he just invades Theory's personal space in a way that makes it crystal clear who has all the power in this situation. This is the moment that defines Austin Theory's character. How does he respond? Does he stand up for himself? Does he try to talk his way out? Does he show fear or maintain composure? From what we know, Theory tried to hold his ground to his credit. This isn't an easy situation for anyone, let alone a younger superstar facing down a legitimate legend and the most dangerous man on the roster. Maybe Theory attempts to explain himself. Maybe he tries to use humor to defuse the situation. Maybe he just stays quiet, knowing that anything he says could make things worse. But here's the reality: when you're cornered by Lesnar and Heyman, there are no good options. You're not winning this encounter. The best you can hope for is to survive it with your dignity somewhat intact. As the encounter continues, Heyman likely delivers the core message they came to send. This could be a warning about Theory's behavior, his attitude, or his ambitions. It could be about staying in his lane, showing proper respect, or understanding that there are levels to this business. Heyman's delivery is what makes it unforgettable. He doesn't just talk at Theory, he talks through him, around him, dissecting him with words the way Lesnar could dissect him physically. Every sentence builds the pressure. Every pause lets the threat sink in. Every glance toward Lesnar reminds Theory of what's standing right next to him. Eventually, the encounter ends, but not before the message is completely, undeniably clear. Whether it ends with a final warning, a physical gesture from Lesnar, or just the two walking away leaving Theory standing there, the impact is devastating. Theory is left to process what just happened. He's been checked hard. He's been reminded that despite his rising star, there are forces in WWE that operate on a completely different level. Let's break down why this encounter is so effective from a psychological and storytelling perspective. There's a reason WWE showcases Brock Lesnar the way they do. His physical presence is undeniable. When you're standing in a hallway with limited space and this absolute unit of a human being is blocking your path, your primal brain kicks in. This isn't about wrestling ability or mic skills in this moment. This is pure, animalistic intimidation. Your body responds before your brain can process. Fight or flight kicks in. And when fighting isn't a real option, all that's left is psychological survival. While Lesnar provides the physical threat, Heyman provides the intellectual and emotional assault. His words are weapons, and he's had decades to perfect their use. What makes Heyman so effective is his understanding of human psychology. He knows how to find your insecurities, your fears, your doubts, and exploit them. He can make you question yourself with a single sentence. For a younger superstar like Austin Theory, who's built his confidence on social media and recent successes, Heyman can tear that foundation down in seconds. He can make you feel small, inexperienced, and out of your depth. This encounter isn't just about intimidation, it's about reminding everyone watching of the hierarchy in WWE. There are levels to this business, and Lesnar and Heyman operate at the very top. Austin Theory, despite his accomplishments, is being reminded that he hasn't earned certain privileges yet. He hasn't paid certain dues. He hasn't proven himself against the absolute elite. This is actually valuable storytelling. It gives Theory something to overcome, a mountain to climb. It creates natural tension and future story possibilities. What makes this particularly effective is the setting of Backstage hallway. Theory can't walk away without looking weak. He can't fight back without committing career suicide. He can't call for help without looking cowardly. He's truly cornered, and that trapped feeling translates to the audience. We feel his discomfort, his fear, his helplessness. That's compelling television. The scariest part of any Brock Lesnar encounter is that you genuinely don't know what's going to happen. Will he just talk? Will he put hands on you? Will he snap and throw you through a wall? That unpredictability keeps everyone on edge. Theory, the viewers, even other superstars watching Backstage. It creates legitimate tension because the rules don't seem to apply to Lesnar the same way they apply to everyone else. So what happens after an encounter like this? Let's explore the fallout. For Austin Theory, this is a defining moment. How he responds in the days and weeks following this confrontation will tell us everything about his character. Does he come back humbled, showing more respect to veterans? Does he come back angry, looking for revenge? Does he come back traumatized, second-guessing himself? Each option creates different storytelling opportunities. The best outcome would be Theory using this as fuel, channeling the humiliation, the fear, the powerlessness into motivation to get better, to get tougher, to eventually earn the respect of legends like Lesnar. For Lesnar and Heyman, this encounter reinforces their position at the top of the WWE food chain. They don't just talk about being dangerous, they demonstrate it. This keeps them relevant and feared. Other superstars watch this and think twice before crossing them. It maintains their aura of invincibility and unpredictability. The beauty of an encounter like this is the doors it opens for future storytelling. Here are some possibilities: Theory's revenge arc, maybe months from now, after building himself up, Theory gets his chance to stand up to Lesnar, this time on more equal footing. Lesnar's target practice: this could be the start of Lesnar systematically going after younger superstars, establishing dominance over the next generation. Heyman's mind games: perhaps this is part of a larger strategy by Heyman to manipulate the roster and create chaos. Alliance formation: maybe Theory seeks help from other superstars who've been victimized by Lesnar, forming an alliance to stand against the Beast. When moments like this happen, the WWE universe explodes with opinions. Social media lights up. Forums debate whether Theory deserved it or if Lesnar went too far. YouTube channels analyze every second. This kind of engagement is gold for WWE. It keeps people talking, keeps them invested, and keeps them tuning in to see what happens next. While this is entertainment, it also reflects real aspects of professional wrestling culture. Veterans testing younger talent, establishing hierarchies, making sure people understand the business they're in. Obviously, everything is ultimately controlled and safe, but these encounters add a layer of realism that makes WWE feel more authentic and less scripted. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture of what this encounter represents. One of the core themes here is respect: earning it, maintaining it, and understanding when you haven't fully earned it yet. Austin Theory is talented, no question, but talent alone doesn't grant you immunity from the legends. You have to prove yourself not just in the ring, but in how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and how you respect those who came before you. Lesnar and Heyman, in their own intense way, might be teaching Theory this lesson. It's tough love at its most terrifying, but it's a lesson that will serve him well if he learns it. Every great WWE superstar has had moments where they were humbled, tested, or pushed beyond their comfort zone. This could be one of those career-defining moments for Austin Theory. Stone Cold Steve Austin had his moments. The Rock had his moments. John Cena, Roman Reigns: everyone has had to overcome adversity and prove themselves against established forces. This encounter is Theory's trial by fire. How he emerges from it will determine his trajectory. This encounter also reminds us why presentation matters in professional wrestling. Lesnar's aura isn't accidental, it's carefully cultivated through booking, protection, and strategic appearances. When he shows up, it means something. When he confronts someone, there are consequences. That's how you build a legendary presence in this industry. One of the most important lessons here is that great wrestling storytelling doesn't only happen in the ring. Some of the most memorable moments in WWE history have been backstage segments, parking lot brawls, or confrontations like this. These moments build characters, create emotional investment, and set up future payoffs in ways that a standard match sometimes can't. And there you have it, Suplex Rumble Nation. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman cornering Austin Theory backstage wasn't just a random encounter, it was a masterclass in intimidation, a lesson in hierarchy, and potentially the beginning of an incredible story. We witnessed psychological warfare at its finest, physical intimidation from a legitimate beast, and a young superstar facing one of the most intense moments of his career. This is what makes professional wrestling compelling. It's not just about the moves in the ring, it's about the moments that test your character. What's your take on this encounter? Do you think Theory handled it well? Was this a necessary lesson, or did Lesnar and Heyman go too far? And what do you want to see happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If you loved this deep dive, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to Suplex Rumble, and turn on those notifications. We're breaking down the biggest moments, the hidden stories, and the psychology behind your favorite wrestling encounters. Follow us on all social media platforms for bonus content, polls, and live discussions with the Suplex Rumble community. Remember, in WWE, respect isn't given, it's earned. And sometimes, the lesson comes from the most terrifying teachers possible. I'm your host, this has been Suplex Rumble, and until next time, stay ready, because you never know when the beast might be around the corner.